161st Street, Yankee Stadium.
Swung on and hit in the air to deep center. Gets back, away back. She is gone.
All right, welcome back to the Boys 161st Street, episode 124. Today is May 17th. The year is 2021. After zero. So Pat McAfee says, good guy. 2021 years past zero. Today you got me, Luke, Murph, Chandler, and Damon. Yankees have now won another series. Obviously tonight, not going so hot. We're recording during the 8th inning. Yankees win another series, 6-0-2 in the last 8 series. They seemingly lose every last game of the series, which I do have a gripe with, so... Gripe alert! It's a good guy. He sounds pretty good. I wonder who recorded that. But yeah, that's my gripe, but I have another gripe later that I'll get into. But, you know,
I think it was like 2-7 in
What?
sweep games. No, they did the stat the other day.
Oh, you have the real stat.
It was like 1-6 or 2-7 in sweep games. Something fucking stupid like that. We've swept one out of like 4 or 5.
I just feel like we always punt that last game, but either way, we're 14-6 in the last 20, not including tonight. We don't know the final yet. We'll be watching with you, so as you listen to this episode, if you're listening to it tomorrow on Tuesday, you will find out together. If there's a walk-off, it's going to be crazy. Kind of a crazy episode, so buckle up. Got a lot to talk about, though. So how are we doing, boys?
Hanging in there. We'll see how the next few minutes go with the rest of the game. Because I feel like this game, obviously right now it's 5-2. We drop it, that's not great. Can't really lose to the Rangers, but we'll see.
It's a 4-game series, though. But I agree. Like if we were waiting, till the end of this game, it's one of those things where, like, you know, very different episode if we would have waited to the end. So I guess we'll find out together. But as of right now, there are a lot of things to talk about that aren't even related to this. We kind of would, if we waited to the end of this, we would have had an even more packed show than we have today. But we got a lot to talk about. Chandler, I hope you're doing good. I'm not going to ask you how you're doing, though. Injury updates. Stanton is
dead.
He was placed on the IL. They are hopeful about that. I'm not hopeful. Yankees fall to the Rangers. Oh, it is final, 5-2. I thought it was in the 8th, low-key, but okay.
No. Yeah, I heard you said that.
It was in the 8th, and I was just trying.
I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be that guy.
No, I mean, you couldn't just tell me.
I thought I was just playing along with it. I didn't want to. You know, it's like telling a kid that Santa's not real. I wanted to let you at least have the hope for a little bit.
Okay.
I think it's a little less extreme than that.
Okay, so back to Stanton. Aaron Boone said yesterday there was hope that Stanton would be available in Texas this week. Now he lands on the 10-day IL. It's day-to-day. Again, they hope it's not anything overly significant. They're trying to get out in front of it. Seemingly trying to get it out in front. I hate that saying. That's my least favorite saying.
That's their
ever.
favorite saying.
That's just because they're always out in front of everything. So
That's what she said.
Murph, out of 10, what was that?
7.
Why? Because I laid it off the glass for myself.
Yeah, I think it's funnier.
Well, so that you lost points for that, and then also like there's room for better ones.
Okay.
There's going to be a 10 out of 10 one day. I promise.
Well, I got a 10 out of 10 the other time.
10 out of 10 is someone else saying something and you being quick to
the
it.
trigger.
You can't. It's not as impressive if you lay yourself up.
I kissed it off the glass and I slammed it home. Either way, I don't like that saying whatsoever, and we do it all the time. We're always getting out in front, and it's not even it's something that we need to do. Obviously, I mean, this is just a team that is hurt all the time, and it's just. I don't know, just a gripe.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Friday, like 5 minutes before it was announced that he's basically fucking about to have to be put down, was that they were considering playing him in the fucking outfield. And then like 30 seconds after it, they're like, oh, JK, he's out for the game, but he'll be fine. And then the next one, and then radio silence. And then now... they're just like, oh, we're gonna sneak it by him and put him on the IL.
I think that just confirms like he cannot play the outfield. If he's
or does he need to play the outfield?
I just found it funny too. I saw a funny tweet about that, and it was like the second there were rumors that Stanton was potentially going to play the outfield, it's like he heard that, and then he's like, all right, I'm just going to be hurt right now.
You know what? My leg's kind of cramping up.
Yeah,
right now.
Funny you mentioned playing left field. I don't feel too hot today. I could really use a trip to the IL, and that's probably how he how he handled that. But also in other injury news, Hicks has a torn tendon sheath in his left wrist. Surgery is possible. We'll try to treat it with medication first. This is a very complicated injury. I knew nothing about it until people started talking about it after this. But if you remember, Mark Teixeira had this in 2013, and it didn't really end well for him. They didn't do surgery with him, I'm pretty sure. I think Murphy was telling me.
No, he tore both. They did surgery on one, and the other one was a cortisone shot, and he was fine in a week.
So that's the medication they're trying to say, like they'll try to do a cortisone shot.
So you said it happened in like 2013. That was the one they gave him a cortisone shot. He was fine. And then 2015, where we saw the Greg Bird flash, was when he had the surgery. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm worried about that. The guy on MLB Network today said that it ended his career when he was trying to come back too early. So obviously we didn't think he was going to be out that long. But if it's that serious where he could potentially have a career-ending injury if he's coming back early, especially when he's not playing that well, I'm fine with him getting surgery. If that's going to keep him from not retiring due to injury.
If there's one person that I'm not worried about coming back early, it's Aaron Hicks. It doesn't even look like he wants to be there half the time. I don't think he's going to push himself.
Yeah, A, he's not hitting well, and B, we have a million outfielders. So
that's the thing.
Not anymore.
How long is that injury recovery? It can't be quick. Like
it's season ending if he has a surgery.
I think so.
I don't know. It could be a career ending. We don't know.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. As of right now, it doesn't look good. Yeah, it doesn't look good for this year as of right now, and for that purpose, and with Stanton being on the IL, and that I think there was 99% of a chance that he never plays in the outfield this year. This being Stanton, I think him getting this injury again. Because they were again talking about, oh yeah, maybe we'll throw him out there. I don't even know if that was serious. It may not have been a legitimate thing. It may be just Boone talking to the media and saying, yeah, we possibly could be thinking about it, like he always does. Doesn't give any real definite answers. It's very vague. But if there was any question as to whether he would play the outfield, I think that is put to rest now. And with that being said, with Hicks going down and that option of him in the outfield probably dead, we need to start talking about trade options, because there are, Estevan Florial is technically an option, but they're talking about, he just got promoted to AAA and he really hasn't played much baseball at all. So as much as I would prefer to honestly see that happen and then address pitching with the trade deadline, I don't think that's going to be, how they do it. And obviously when we get into these, we're going to operate under the assumption that the Yankees are going to stay under the luxury tax, which we have $4 to $5 million left that we kept for that. But, I would hope they don't, because then you can go after a guy like Scherzer and just go win the damn thing. But, that's how we're going to operate. But like I said, we're going to get into those in a little bit after we do finish up the injuries. But that's the reason why we're going to start talking about it. I know it's a little early, and we were talking about that before too. But, it's inevitable that we're going to address it with the deadline or with just a trade before the deadline. So that's why we're going to get into that and see some potential options we can go through. But just to round out the injury updates, Britton had a setback, which stinks. General soreness, scheduled to see a doctor. Hopeful, not significant.
If there's one thing I know about the Yankees, general soreness means Tommy John surgery.
Or at least an IL stint.
I'm not expecting to see him until October.
2023. I will see Zach Britton in October of 2023. See you there. Hope you're ready to go.
I'm not counting on seeing him at all
this year.
I think we should plan for the worst, because that's probably what's going to happen.
And then
it's so frustrating because we're always just missing 2 to 3 key pieces that are out for so long that we start to forget that they're even on the team.
Yeah.
Like, I keep forgetting that we have Sevy potentially coming back. I keep forgetting that we have Britton potentially coming back with how good our bullpen's been. So, except for the other night, but still, just in general, it's so frustrating when you have so many guys on the IL for so long, you forget they're even there.
And we're so used to it, too. It's
and we're
every year thing.
Flip side, little positive, not a whole lot of positive, and everybody's dying left and right on the field. But Sevy had a setback, whatever, but he came back out the next day and was perfectly fine. So good on him. A little soreness, took care of it, got out there, did his thing. Apparently he looked great. He's thrown to live hitters again. I'll see you in the beginning of July. Let's go. Comeback player of the year.
Yeah,
I don't think that's possible.
Not possible.
Also, I'm still not counting on that either because last month they were like, oh yeah, he'll come back in the summer, which is a 3-month span. So them saying that he had a setback and then he's come back and then maybe he's fine again, but that's the most up in the air conversation that I don't even want to talk about because who the fuck knows.
Well, his setback was his like back tightness, and I think he just like slept on it wrong because he literally he sat out for a day, came back, and he pitched apparently really well. So,
but like when you can't even give within a month of a target, and it has to be 3 months, then there's no way that you can confidently say, oh yeah, we're gonna have him by the playoffs, whatever that is. So. Whatever. That's my.
So last on the injury updates, Odor could be back tomorrow. So that's actually very good news because then we can see less and less of Tyler Wade. So
he can't do fucking anything right.
That's not true, but we'll get into that later. But that's the injury update. I'm going to operate under the assumption that this is the team we have. Like you said, it's way wild to think that these guys are coming back. Who knows the timeline on them? We're given a timeline, but that's not really accurate as we can attest to from past injuries. So this is the team we got, and that's the way I'm going to operate. Anything else is just gravy. So I mentioned one gripe alert before, but this is my real gripe alert. So gripe alert.
I have a feeling that's going to get old really, really fast.
I'm going to use it sparingly.
I agree.
I'm going to use it
especially
sparingly.
because you played it twice before he even started.
Whenever Rella gets a new sound, he just kills it.
You got to run it a couple of times.
No, you got to. It's all about being sporadic and timing.
Well, no, this is an actual moment where I have a gripe.
Yeah, but you had 2 gripes already this episode.
The other one was barely a gripe. This one
It's barely a gripe. It doesn't deserve a gripe alert sound.
This one does.
Yeah.
You haven't even heard it yet.
If you saved the gripe alert sound for this, we would have been in business.
That's what I said.
So I'll wear that first one, but yeah. So my new gripe this time is just the Tauchman trade. So the Tauchman trade in the moment still didn't look good. It still didn't really make sense. Whatever. You're getting some pitching depth. You're getting an extra guy, and you're getting an extra reliever, an extra lefty. That's probably why we're doing that. But now it doesn't make sense and you saw this. You can read the tea leaves. There's no depth that we have in the outfield, and it makes no fucking sense to trade one of the few that can actually field any position, specifically center field. Hicks has a potential to get hurt. That Stanton can't play left field. So all of these things, just read the fucking tea leaves. If one of them goes wrong, which there's 90% likelihood that one of them goes wrong, both of them went wrong. And now you're seeing a situation. I mean, if they didn't expect that to happen, that's just the most wishful thinking I've ever seen in my life. So my point is, how do you not prepare for any of those two things to happen? That's why it bothers me, because now this is a perfect time. Like, I want to go trade for Tauchman again. I want backsies on this deal. Wandy Peralta has been decent, but we could have avoided this nonsense, and now we don't. We might not even have to be talking about a trade piece if we don't make that deal.
Disagree.
I don't think getting rid of Tauchman was the worst thing in the world. Obviously, in hindsight, it backfired in our face. It would have been a deal that I would have liked to see them wait until the deadline and throw him in a deal and get somebody for that. But they got rid of him so early when there's so much, like you said, Rella, that can go wrong. So it's not so much that they traded Tauchman, because at the time it kind of made sense. There wasn't a place for him. We needed a lefty in the bullpen, so it was an okay. The logic was there. It wasn't a great trade, but the logic was there. Now, obviously, blew up in our face. Murphy's Law. Anything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Our outfielders started going down, getting hurt, and Wandy's okay. He's not great. He's okay. We could have really used Tauchman now. So that's why I wish we waited until the deadline, where at least, but then at the same time, then you're just kind of holding Tauchman on the bench and not really playing him if it all goes well. So it's kind of a tough.
Yeah, I agree with that part, but that we should have waited. We probably could have gotten someone a little bit better, but I'm not that upset really about it, because Wandy does fill a void that we need. Like he has been productive, and he is a good lefty arm out of the bullpen. There's no denying that at all. And it's not like Tauchman went to San Francisco and is lighting it up. Like, he's still a below average kind of player right now. It's like if he went out there and was hitting 300 and was like carrying this team or became this like superstar in the Giants, then yeah, I'd be fucking pissed. because we just need to play him, and that probably would have happened. But because he's not doing anything special, I think that we kind of right now we won because Wandy's more productive than Talkman would have been. In my
That's
opinion.
true.
I don't think we won. And
My
main,
but how do you say that? Because
I'm just saying I don't give a fuck about winning or losing the deal on paper.
I don't
because
either. I'm just saying
it
I
doesn't
think-
matter. The point is, like, how did you not? You said Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. It's not even that. Like, yes, anything can go wrong will go wrong. It all went wrong. But even if one of the things went wrong, even if just Hicks got hurt, we're still in a situation where we need an outfielder for the future. Like now we're in a spot where we're even worse because now Murphy's Law. If anything else goes wrong, we have Tyler Wade at center field every day. So like that is the issue that we have at hand now. And like we've been without Talkman for a few weeks now, and it's already gone to shit. That's what I'm saying. I know Talkman's not the best fielder, but he would be he's not the best player overall, but he's a great fielder, is what I meant to say. And that's why, like, the point we're at now is a point where now we have to explore more depth options, and we wouldn't be in that spot if we didn't make this stupid deal. Because also, one more thing before I let you go, Chandler, because you look like you're about to have an aneurysm.
I am about to have an aneurysm.
I'm just also upset about it too, because we have two things that were seemingly very like high on depth. They're two of our very big strong positions. That being the bullpen, that being outfield, it seemed. And then you're just strengthening an already really great strength for the team and weakening another one. Like, why not just keep the two and then strengthen somewhere else? Like, it didn't make sense to just strengthen the bullpen just to do it. Like, it didn't make sense. You also have Britton coming back. Like, that didn't make sense to me.
That's what I'm about to say, is because so if you can take this back a month and look into the future, are you really still choosing one alternative over the other? Because now we just learned today that Britton could be out for God knows how long. Like, you have a setback on your elbow, and then you have the stuff in the outfield. You're also banking on Frazier not being not borderline, the worst hitting outfielder in baseball, the worst hitting player in baseball. You're banking on him to be decent again. You're banking on Gardner to not be hitting 100. You're banking on your outfield to be at least competent in what you have, and then you don't have the bullpen arm. So I'm saying, even if you go back and you can see the future, I don't know that you'd pick a different outcome. Like, because you're still filling a void either way. And I mean, I don't know. I still feel not confident in Brett Gardner, but like, at least you have a veteran presence in the lineup. Like,
yeah,
you can replace an inning here or there, especially when the way that a lot of our games have been going. But I don't know. That's just what, like, Rella, if you could go back 1 month from now and see everything you know now, do you still think it's a dumb trade?
Yes, it's dumber now to me because you didn't.
How?
I expected this to happen. That's how.
But you're just thinking of Talkman as a body. Like, he wouldn't be a better productive player. He's just another player.
Exactly. It's not like you traded Mike. It's not like you traded Mike Trout. You're not.
Yeah, but like,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he could play outfield, and now, like I said, we're one injury away. Then we had Ryan Lamar. I shouldn't know Ryan Lamar's name. I should have never
Ryan
seen
Lamar
him.
can come up and play somewhat decent fielding and hit 200 the same way Talkman.
yeah, exactly. Like, he would play the same way. I'm pretty sure if Florial came up, he would play the exact same way, maybe even better. Like, it makes sense, and I'd rather have Wandy at the bullpen at this point.
Okay, agree to disagree. Do you guys want to get into rounding third?
If you want to.
If you want to.
No, I don't, actually. I want to skip ahead.
Rounding third. All right, so rounding third, if you're joining us for the first time, is a segment where we have some bold-ish takes and we try and prove our case. There's a play at the plate. Everybody else who you're trying to prove to, they decide if you're safe or out on the take. And this time around, there wasn't much, bold takes outside of, trades. So I think this time around we're just going to do, everybody picks a guy that they think should be that outfield guy we target, and you make your case for him, and the rest of us call you safe or out. So who wants to start?
I actually do have a rounding third.
Okay.
Wow, look at you,
Yeah, I was
Chandler.
prepared. I even did research on this
Hey,
one.
guess what?
so-
We're actually not doing rounding third today. No, I'm just fucking.
Yeah,
No,
I'm doing
We'll
it.
throw that.
I
We'll
don't
throw
give
that
a
on the
fuck.
back. We'll throw that on the
I'll-
back. So start with the player first, and then we'll.
It's like
we'll
the
do that
one
at the
time
end.
we don't ask you to do rounding third, you do it anyway.
I know. I'm fucking.
This is
I
like
was
mic
prepared
checks
today.
all over again. When we ask you to do a mic check, you don't talk into the mic.
No, that's Murph.
They
I've been
both do
better
that.
at it. Either
Post
way,
the bloopers of the getting set up. It's actually
well,
really funny.
I'll go first, and I'll take the easy one. I'd like to see Joey Gallo. I mean,
That's
I think
not
his.
an
I
easy
think
one.
Murph's
that
a
is an
little
easy
upset.
one. How could anybody not want Joey Gallo?
No, I'm with you.
Swing-
That would. I wanted to go last because I have a couple other guys, but I knew somebody would say Joey Gallo. He seems like the
Yeah,
most
I
obvious
mean,
choice.
he's the no-brainer. I mean, he's got a sweet swing that plays there. He plays great defense. He's relatively fast. He gets on base.
Great fielder. Did we say that?
Great fielder. That's what I'm saying. For a team that can't field worth a shit.
I guess, but I don't want another guy who's going to hit 200 and have 1,000 strikeouts.
He gets on base though. It's not just like I saw. It was a stat today. It was like 58% of his at bats either are a home run, a walk, or a strikeout. Which the strikeouts are
they called
concerning,
it
but
like the
that's-
three outcomes.
It's a three true outcomes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also, how many
True.
how many times have we complained about how this lineup is just built off of guys hitting home runs, and that's why we lose ball games? And now you want to bring in another guy who just strikes out
It's more
and
the
hits
same.
home runs. It's more the same. You're asking for another. You're asking for a replica, just who has a lefty swing.
No,
I
but
don't
think about how long the Yankees have been waiting for a lefty bat who's going to excel at Yankee Stadium. We've been talking about guys for years.
Is he
Didi
gonna-
kind of
Bryce
filled
Harper.
that role
We
a little
wanted
bit.
Bryce
We were
Harper.
talking about
We
bringing in
talked about
Schwarber,
we were talking about Harper for years.
Harper. Yeah, like those, just the big lefty, bomb guys that can use the short porch. And like, there are a few other guys that can fit that. That's why I had a few, and I wanted somebody else to say Joey Gallo because there's other people to talk about. But I think we're undermining the fielding because he can play everywhere, and he can field everywhere significantly better than anybody we have except for right field.
My question to that is, do you really? And this, I'm all on board with Joey Gallo because I know how great of a player he is. My one gripe. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it. My one gripe would be that it is, like you said, more of the same, and I am the biggest advocate of being that small ball type team and who can hit, field, run, all that stuff. And he's just
It's
more
not
the
the
same
Yankees.
that the Yankees have, and I get it, and that's why we haven't been that ever. We've always been this bopping team, and he is a lefty, and he is all that. I don't like the more of the same, but also you guys have to realize I don't see the Tigers. This is a trade. Both sides have to agree. I don't see them. I don't see
Rangers.
them. I don't know. I said Tigers. So, but either way, the premise is still the same. Both sides need to agree to a deal. I don't see them getting rid of a cornerstone player like Joey Gallo, who's 27 and he's only making $6 million. Like, that's not something they want to do.
Well,
I was just gonna say quickly. I think that he's gonna be. He's gonna be have a huge asking price too. That I don't think is gonna be worth it. Like we're talking about all these kind of like not flaws, but not perfect fits for the lineup right at this time and this team at this time. And he's gonna have a big asking price. He's a big name, and he's a good player. But I just don't think we have too many of him already.
Well, think about the long-term outfielders we have right now, and that's becoming more and more cloudy. That he is a tank. I mean, look at his injury history. You can fact check me, but I feel like he's out there all the time. He plays that Gold Glove defense. He gives you power. Look at our outfield right now. Who's a staple? Judge. If you want to call him that, who he's had a hard time staying on the field, like it or not. And I know he's doing hot right now, and we love to go with how he's doing, but I mean, regardless of how he's performed over the last 2 weeks, he is injury prone. We don't have a staple that stays healthy in the outfield. I think he gives you more than just like instant relief of seeing Andahar, who I still love, but Andahar, Frazier, and Gardner rotating out, and fucking Ryan Lamar in the outfield. I think that's what you get. You get a long-term staple.
I get that, but here's the thing: I don't really give a fuck about the long-term staple right now. If we're making a trade for the trade deadline, I want it to be someone who's going to help win a World Series. I don't care about 4 years down the road and creating a staple in the outfield.
Why can't it be both?
Be here.
That's my plan is a both thing, and that's actually I'm glad you brought that up because I think this is a good opportunity. There are some names out there that are long-term potential staples on the Yankees. Like you can get somebody, Lindor's not doing too hot for the Mets right now, but they got him with a plan to lock him up as a rental, and then they got him to get locked up. Mookie Betts, the same thing. Trades can be guys that you have a future with, whether they're rentals or not, whether they have 1 year or not. I have a guy in mind. I don't know if you guys mind if I go to mine now, who I've liked for a long time. I can't, Murph. Okay, Murph, go ahead.
I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't mind.
I really like Starlin Marte, and this dude. I've spoken about what I like in a player on this podcast. I just said it too. He does everything that we don't do, and it adds a different dimension to the Yankees. And adding Joey Gallo to the team would be nice. He'd hit home runs as a lefty, and if they accept that trade, I wouldn't be upset. But a guy like Starlin Marte, who plays plus defense in center field, who can run, who can steal bases, who can hit for average, he does literally everything that we lack. And that is exactly why I want a guy like that. He's making $12.5 million this year, which is on the upper end of these names that we're looking at. But it's also, you have to think about it, he's a 1 year rental, and divide that cap hit in this year in half, because you're going to get him halfway through the year. And the other team might eat some of the contract. The other team being the Marlins. So Jeter might help us out. He's done it before. So, I really like it. So that would be a cap hit of about the $5 million that we do have. So I think that'd be a perfect trade. It would help us out so much. We wouldn't have to rely so much on the guys like DJ to get on base and Gio to get on base. Then now half of our lineup could be guys who can get on base, and then you have a nice mix of the guys who can, hit the home runs and stuff. Yes, he's not a lefty, and I know we're in the market for a lefty, but I think this is a good replacement for what if Hicks, what if worst case scenario, or honestly, not even worst case scenario, because I just like him more than Hicks. It's not saying much because Hicks hasn't been all that this year. I like Starlin Marte as the center fielder of the next couple years during this championship window, and I think this is a good move to get him at a relatively good price. And he's only 32. He's in his fucking prime right now.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing. I was at a bar on Friday, and I met probably the only Marlins fan ever, other than Marlins Man, who we also met. Those are the two Marlins fans that exist, and we've talked to both of them. So,
and one of them is self-named.
One of them is self-named and is the mascot of the team. This is the other one, and he was sitting at a bar in New York, don't know why, and I was talking to him while the game was on, and I got the vibe that he wasn't a Yankee fan, but he knew everything. So I was like, who do you like? And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm a Marlins fan. And I started talking about Starlin Marte, and I was expecting him to be like, oh, no, we're not trading him. We love him. Immediately, he was like, absolutely, I would love you guys to take him, because and it's not that they don't like him. It's exactly the reason why they got Starlin Marte from the Pirates, is because when teams are rebuilding, you kind of scratch your head as like, why are you getting a guy in his prime right now? You're clearly not trying to win. Other teams are doing that too, like the Royals getting Benintendi, who we might talk about later. But you scratch your head a little bit in the moment, but then you realize these guys are trying to catch fire in a bottle in one season, lightning in a bottle, wrong saying, and then they're going to try and flip them at the deadline. So that's exactly what they got Marte to do. Same thing with like Matt Harvey. Why do you think he got a job on the Orioles? The Orioles are clearly rebuilding, but they're going to try and see if he can fucking do it for half a year and then flip him for some prospects. So it all makes sense. This might be a potential Darren O'Day situation.
I don't hate
Brian
the Marte
Cashman.
thing.
I'm telling you right now, Matt Harvey's going to be a Yankee this summer.
Oh, you think so?
I know so. Because, no, absolutely. It makes way too much sense. There's going to be the rumors like, ooh, Hendricks, Castillo, which I know they're both pitching like shit, but just play along.
Exactly how much pot did you smoke?
No, we're going to get the regular rumors that are like, ooh, yeah, Scherzer's coming. Deal's almost done. It's going to be like, ooh, borderline deal breaking Harvey to the Yankees for Florial and 6 other prospects, and then everybody's gonna be pissed off. The same thing.
If we give up anything other than a tub of orange slices for him, I'm gonna be pissed.
Is he even pitching well this year?
He did against us, which isn't.
Didn't he get shelled? He went back to Citi Field and got shelled like last week.
Oh,
I think he's having a bad year. I don't know why you think that's gonna happen.
All right, so let's not talk about Matt Harvey. Let's talk a little bit more about Starling Marte.
I'm just
'cause it's
saying,
interesting.
doesn't that sound like something that could happen? Isn't that the perfect name for like fucking when we got
No, I
Lance
see what you're
Lynn
saying.
on his downfall?
Yeah.
All
And
right,
then he came back,
he's
whatever.
3-3 with a 4.81 ERA right now.
Oh, he's coming
That's
to
the
the
sweet
Bronx.
spot for you.
Yeah.
For getting flipped
Yeah.
for cheap.
Here's your game 2 ALDS starter. I hope you guys are ready.
Game 2. If he's the game 2, we have the whole team got COVID and they're out for a month. Like wrong time. No, dude, I am not even going to entertain this anymore. I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, I'm exaggerating for clarity, obviously,
know.
but I mean,
we're in a bad spot if that's who we're bringing in the deadline. And I think he's making like the $4 million that we have. So if he was a $600,000 acquisition, then
No, I
maybe.
thought they signed him for the minimum.
Okay, well,
And
the
they had-
veteran
they
minimum
had
is
to
like
have.
$2 million, isn't it? I don't
No,
know.
I think
Just
it's
pulling
like
it.
one.
Go back to Starling Marte, Murph. You had something to say about that?
Well, no, I was just saying, like, I don't think he's who we're going to target. So I realistically don't think we're going to go for him. But I don't hate where you're coming from in terms of he is what we don't have. But I like in terms of he can field. He's not really fast anymore. I know he used to be.
He steals bags.
And he's a contact guy. He's not that fast though, really.
I have him on my fantasy team. He steals bags. He's currently on the IL. He's about to come back, but he gets about like 25, 30 bags a year.
No
Really?
way. No way.
Check his stats. Check the tape.
I'm checking you on that.
Anyway,
Everybody's
regardless.
checking me on
So
that.
like even regardless whether
Steals
not
bags.
steals bag, he's just like not quite like the pop guy
The
that I want to see.
prototypical
Like,
Yankee. You don't think he would earn his pinstripes, Murph?
No. I'm saying he's not the pop guy. Like, I want somebody who
You don't need the
can.
pop. Guy.
He doesn't
don't
hit
need
from
that.
the left side. I
don't need
think
that.
at the deadline, I want to see somebody who can rake from the left side. I think that's what we need.
I agree with
So-
the lefty, and getting a good lefty would be a great acquisition. I don't agree at all that you have to get a pop guy, dude. We had a sluggish start to the season offensively, and I think we're still like second or third in home runs. We don't need a pop guy.
I would like to confirm that
You're
you are
left-
correct on the stolen bases.
I know.
All right,
Outside of 2020, because I don't count that. The
got
last
2
3
this year.
years, 25, 33, 21, 47, 30, 30.
all right,
okay,
but he's not the
you win.
47 guy.
So
that's
fun.
where I was
It's so
thinking. Was
fun
like
being right
I
all the
knew he
time.
swiped 41 year, and it wasn't the last 2 years. But either way,
Super fun being
Um,
right.
I believe I can't remember the exact thing I saw on Twitter today or yesterday, but like the Yankees have the lowest OPS, I think, in the NFL or in the MLB, the NFL, of any team from the left side.
Breaking news. This is now a Jets podcast.
No, never.
Never. No, but we don't hit from the left side. Obviously, we don't have anybody in our
No, I
lineup
get
that can hit
that.
from the left side. But for the team that has the short porch, wouldn't you want to have a couple lefties that can hit?
I agree, but I don't think that's going to be solved in one move.
Yeah, that's
and
not
I think
the-
I'm
that's-
not saying it is. I'm
that's a
just saying
problem
that I
to
feel like
address.
if we're targeting somebody at the deadline, you
I
might
agree.
want to bring in somebody that can hit
I,
the ball
I
from
don't
the left
want
side.
I don't want someone who can barely hit it over the right field fence.
Here's
And I don't want that to be our attraction.
here's where I stand on that, Murph. I agree completely. Targeting a lefty would be a good idea, but I absolutely prioritize just straight up talent over it being a lefty. I'd rather get
No, I
a
do too.
like if Starling Marte is available on the table versus some other average lefty, I'm going to
I do
take Starling
too.
Marte 10 times out of 10.
I'm with you. No problem with that. But I think there are other guys out there that I'd like to target more. And I have 2 guys that I want to mention. Only one of them's a lefty, but like they're both having really, really good years compared to what they normally do, but they're also decent players. And I want to know what you guys would
Are they good
either
guys?
because obviously you trade for them, but what would you give up? And it's Haniger and
Are they
Winker.
nice people?
Haniger and who?
Winkler,
Wink-
Jesse Winkler.
Winker.
I said Winker the first time.
Those are both on my list also. I think Haniger is routinely one of the most slept on players in baseball, and he was
Yeah.
hurt. He was hurt last year, so people forget
Well, that's
about
a
him.
problem.
And then he comes back, and now he's lighting it up. He's tied for the most home runs in the majors right now. I think I have his stats pulled up actually. I wrote a little.
He's tied with isn't he tied
basically
with
blocked.
Judge?
He's got 12.
Yeah, Judge and Acuna.
Yeah.
Acuna, that's the other
And
one.
Acuna's hurt, so Judge
Acuna
may
was
take an
back
off
today.
day. So Haniger, he's currently tied with the MLB lead in home runs, and he becomes a free agent in 2023. So it's not just a 1-year rental; it's 1 year and next year as well. more sexy for a trade. Honestly, you get 1 year of control after that.
Got to give up more for him
And
though, because
he
it's
only
not just
makes
1 year.
I agree, and he only makes $3 million.
Well, arbitration next year would
We'll
probably
put
be
him at
more.
4.
But
I think
still.
it's 4 or 5 if it's arbitration first year.
right.
I mean, either way,
But
who
either
cares about
way.
arbitration next year? We reset the tax, and isn't the new collective bargaining agreement this year?
Mm-hmm. So the only thing we have to
sure.
worry about for these deals would be the $4 to $5 million we have left under the luxury tax, if we stay under, which I'm assuming we are.
If there's a way to get somebody big, I know this is a little off topic, but if there's a way to get somebody big and we don't blow by that to hit the World Series, just finally cross that threshold, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
We'll never know if there was a deal to be made. We'll just we
will. We'll know like January of next year, like
Scherzer was available.
Like we saw the Judge and Angels thing the other day.
Yeah, they
like,
made a push, but
it's the fucking headline of breaking. Scherzer was almost a Yankee, but then he wasn't. Thanks for just ruining my random day in January after we got swept in the DS. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Murph, with the Winker thing, I am all for Jesse Winker. I really don't think they'll sell him, and a lot of people don't.
No, I don't think he's a possibility. It's just a thought because
he's 27.
I agree.
He's young and he's kind of popping off, but I'm
right
thinking
now.
of him as like I don't like, you know how we do the hot and not, like you buying or selling. I don't know if I'm buying how well he's hitting right now.
I'm with
like
you
I don't
on
know
that.
if he's really that good.
He's got a 1 dot OPS.
I think
right
he's
now.
good. He's
no,
good,
I know he's
but-
hitting well.
I know.
don't know
I
if he
agree.
actually-
Maybe he's not that good right now, but yeah, I was just emphasizing how well he's doing right now. He's got a 1 dot.
No,
Judge has a 1 dot OPS right now. So just for comparison purposes, he's batting 344, 400 on base percentage, 602 slugging.
It's pretty good by my math.
incredible. And
Under
I would love
team
for him to do
control
that. But if
until
he comes to New York in the
2023.
middle of the season, we can't expect him to do that. And if we could, I'd give up a lot for that. But I don't think that's going to happen.
See, when you're looking at sellers too and teams that are going to be sellers, I don't think like all of the teams that we just listed, I think the Reds are probably the best of those, and I think they're the least likely to be sellers. And they're in an easy division too. Like they could easily. Like, the Cardinals are great this year, and the Brewers pitching is good. But like, that division.
Cubs are sneaky.
Exactly. Yeah, but that division's always up in the
wide
air.
open.
That division's wide the fuck open. Like,
No, it is. You're right.
They could be on the other side. They could be at buyers and be a couple players away from being the division winners. Like it's just that division is so wide open. So I don't foresee they could possibly be sellers, but they also could not be sellers. But even if they are sellers, I don't see them selling him. Yeah. He doesn't.
No,
fit
I
that
agree.
rotative-
Haniger would be more realistic, but
Yeah.
Well,
I'd like to see Winker.
here's my guy, David Peralta, on the
that's a great one.
Diamondbacks.
Absolutely love it.
And they're not going to win this division. They're not going to win this division for a few years. They had the Dodgers, the Padres, and some of the Giants are good this year. They came out of nowhere, and they're in the top of the division right now.
They're
And
not bad.
The Padres are in the middle of literally trying to win a World Series. The Dodgers just won a World Series, trying to go for another one. The
Rockies
Diamondbacks,
stink.
the Rockies are non-existent. The Diamondbacks they should probably start thinking about doing a whole rebuild as well.
I
Right,
agree.
it's not
So-
their 5-year span. No way.
Yeah, David Peralta, he's 33 years old. He's plus outfielder. He won a Gold Glove in 2019. Lefty bat. He strikes out very little. 89th percentile in strikeout percentage. And did I say lefty bat already? Yes.
You did say
And
lefty bat
he hits the
already,
ball
yeah.
hard. He's a contact guy.
I will say he kind of fits the bill of a Yankee trade well because of the age. At 33, he's a prime trade candidate. And the Diamondbacks don't need to do a total rebuild. They have a solid core and they have solid players, and we have a lot of major league ready guys. So we're not trading a bunch of low A like scrubs. Like hopefully they pan out. Hopefully, whatever. You got a bunch of potential here. We can trade those major league those younger major league ready guys to them and get something like that in return. It kind of fits perfectly to the model that they're looking to use as far as, the blueprints of a trade. That's exactly what the Yankees want. He fits that bill.
He is a career 290 hitter too, which I like. I don't like the low batting average. I really like that. He makes $7.5 million this year. Damon, you did mention he's a lefty, right?
Yep.
Okay, he's a lefty. He's under team control. I think he's either under team control until 2023 or becomes a free agent in 2023. Regardless, he's not a rental. He's got at least another year on his contract. I think it would be a good move. I think the $7.5 million becomes half that. So
Yeah, he's a free agent.
That's within our
23.
our cap.
Out of all the guys we talked about, I think we'd have to give up the least for him.
I agree,
and I think he, obviously provides a lot of value. He's not as big of a name as Gallo, or he's not as hot as Winker or Haniger, but
kind of reminds me of the
through and
McCutchen.
through.
Yeah,
he's an all-around player.
Kind of reminds me of the McCutchen trade a couple of years ago.
A lot of these deals are that's like exactly what we're aiming for in that be like this, or even to a lesser degree the Cameron Maben thing, which just worked out way more than we could have ever imagined happening. Was that a deadline deal, or did we just sign him before the year?
We signed him before the year.
McCutchen is exactly what we should be aiming for here in terms of like the caliber of a player, like a veteran who's towards the back end, if like 32 range, exactly like Starlin Marte.
Yeah,
but
and David Peralta 33.
But you know what? That actually makes a good point though, because you were talking all the stuff that you said about Starlin Marte, except for the speed. He fits a lot of those bills the same way. Plus, he's already a lefty, and he's on a better deal, and we'd probably still be able to give up less for him than Marte. So, one
last guy that I did want to mention that I have talked myself so into is Andrew Benintendi. This would take some getting used to, and Murph's already shaking his head, but dude, he's a lefty bat. I've honestly, when we think about the Red Sox, he's one that I never really hated. I never really hated a lot of the Red Sox, even during the 2018 run when they won the World Series and all that, but he plays good defense. He was amazing at defense. He played one of the harder left fields to play, being the Green Monster, and he played it very well. At least that was the eye test I saw whenever we played against him. He was a good hitter then. He had a couple of rough years, and now he's hitting pretty well now. He's on a relatively team-friendly deal, I think. He knows the division. He knows a big moment. He's coming from a team that he's played in big moments before, whereas people we've traded for in the past, being Sonny Gray, come from Cincinnati and just can't do it in the big lights. He's been there. He's done that. I really think I like the fielding. I like the speed. He's swiping bags this year. It's that he fits that bill for me. We know him, and I don't think the fans hate him at all. I mean, do you guys hate Andrew Benintendi?
I love Benintendi. He was one of my favorite. I liked a lot of those Red Sox people. Like me, I can actually separate like my baseball fandom and Yankee fandom. I'm not like fucking Carabas, who's the South Park meme every time Garrett Cole walks a fucking batter, where I'm just in front of my fucking coded computer. Like, I like Devers and I like Benintendi. And I like Bogarts, and I like JD Martinez. And out of those, I loved Benintendi when he was there. I think he fits it perfectly, and I'd love to see him in the outfield. And yeah, I mean, I would trust him in left field over fucking Clint Frazier right now, or over Brett Gardner.
I don't even know why you said that as he was close. He's a good fielder.
No, I know. I'm not saying in the field. I'm just saying in the lineup in general.
Yeah, no,
he would slot in easily right behind Judge as our number 2 fielder as of today. And I mean, absolutely love it. I don't know what it would take to get him, but
it'd take me some getting used to. I don't think I could root for him yet. I don't like him. He just kind of
he killed
when
us
he was
for
there,
a while.
He fit Boston too well.
Yeah, I agree with you, Murph. Like he had some big moments where he just destroyed us, and I'm still getting over it.
I don't think that's what makes
he's
you
like
hate
Ellsbury.
Somebody, though.
Like when we got Ellsbury, I'm not saying like he sucks, he's going to get hurt and be like Ellsbury, but like when we got Ellsbury, it took me a little while to start rooting for Ellsbury because I didn't like him when he was in Boston. And like if we got Benintendi, it would be a similar kind of thing for me. Logistically, it makes sense. Would I really be that mad if we got him? No, I'd be happy because he's a good ball player. But like, it take me a little bit. I don't trust him.
I want him. I'm gonna be honest. He's one of the higher ones on this list for me. And honestly, we put out the polls today, and people wanted him. He was I think I'll check right now. I think he got the highest votes out of all of them.
That's interesting.
That is really.
If he got the highest votes, that's interesting.
Marte got 55%. Dahl got 29%. Gallo got 62%. Winker 55%. I don't think people know about Winker. And
he plays for the Reds. That's fair.
61% for Benintendi. 47 for Peralta, 50 for Haniger.
47 for Peralta. That's surprising. I feel like Peralta's, now that Damon made his argument, he's kind of climbing up my list.
I feel like he's not like, he plays in the Diamondbacks. He's like the most irrelevant franchise in baseball. Like people just don't forget the Diamondbacks exist. So
I think that vote though, the fact that he got such a high there were a lot of votes on this, and I think the fact that I think Yankee fans know him more than they know David Peralta, so that may be swinging the vote. But also that is a testament to how not hated he was when he was a Red Sox, because the majority is now wanting him on the Yankees. I think he fits. I think he fits really well, but I think that should just those are a great list of names. To recap the names that we had: Starlin Marte, David Peralta, Mitch Haniger, Benintendi, Gallo, Jesse Winker, David Dahl we didn't mention, and Brian Reynolds we didn't mention. But Brian Reynolds could be an interesting one too. He makes like $600K, and he's a
Pirates guy,
on the
right?
Pirates.
Yeah.
Pirates, yeah.
Could be an interesting one.
Loves contact.
Young makes $600,000. I don't know why they would trade him. I guess he's not in the window too. But my friend mentioned that to me, and that was an interesting one too. But I think that's enough talking about these deadline deals that could potentially not happen for months. But we just wanted to get ahead of. We're doing the Yankee thing. We just wanted to get ahead of it.
Get ahead of it, yeah. See what happens.
We just wanted to get ahead of it.
Prepare. Give them
Just
an
wanted
off
to get
day.
ahead of it, and
If you think about it, it kind of fits perfectly too. We get ahead of it and it never happens. Kind of like we're getting ahead of an injury and they never come back. There we go. And just like we're getting ahead of this, none of these deals are going to fucking happen. So
that's
whatever.
not true. I'm 1 for 1 on my predictions actually no, that's not 1 for 1. I made a couple other predictions, but I've recently hit 2 good ones. I predicted Kluber and Darren O'Day. And
You're 2 for like 85.
But
If we ran the tapes.
Those were the loudest 2, though.
But those
those 2, I'll take that to my grave. So
you're
back to
Joey,
the Yankees.
You're the 2 outcome, like Joey Gallo. You're home run or strikeout.
Oh, yeah. So back to the Yankees a little bit. So I just had a question for you guys. And if you do know the answer, don't blurt it out. Who do you think on the Yankees has the highest batting average right now? Damon looked at my paper, so I'm not going to ask him.
I literally can't see that far.
Who do you think on the Yankees is the highest batting average, Chandler?
Is there a minimum plate appearances?
No. Do you know the answer, Chandler?
I don't know the answer.
Okay.
Is there a minimum plate appearances?
That's a good question. Because if you're gonna
Like if somebody 2 for 2.
No. He's played enough games.
If you're gonna tell me Tyler Wade with like 11 at bats,
I'm gonna guess.
I'm gonna drive to New York and shit on your porch because I don't want to hear that shit.
It is Tyler Wade.
Gio.
He's played 23 games, by the way. So it is Tyler Wade, and he's batting.
Stupid.
He's batting 318. 23
318.
games.
You're
Is, 23
How many
games is
at-bats?
nearly as many as everybody else. It's like 10 games less.
How many at bats? What is he like? Fucking 4 for 12?
Go check. He's
or
played
4 for
23 games. He's
13?
batting 318.
Tyler Wade is batting 318.
He's batting 318. He's the only person on the Yankees above 300. Aaron Judge at 298, Gio 293, Stanton 282, and DJ 272.
See, I knew Gio was close to 300, but I didn't.
How many games?
Tyler Wade is hitting 280.
Okay,
and
he has 22 at bats, and he has 7 hits.
I looked at the wrong thing.
All right, get the
I-
fuck
Oh, I
out
was
of
right
here.
with Gio.
You were right. What?
Thank you.
Right about
He's
Gio?
hitting 318 with 7 hits.
I totally saw 23, and I was like, "Oh, that's 23
no,
games."
he's played 23 games, but he's made appearances in 23 games.
That's what. Oh, because he's always been defensive replacement in every game.
So he has 24,
stats are
24
also
plate
outdated.
appearances.
He might
Your
have more
stats are
games
not-
played than plate appearances.
They're not current today, and this also shows how bullshit this stat is. He went 0 for 3 today, and it dropped his fucking batting average 38 points.
But you see why I didn't even check that, because I saw 23 games and I was like, "Oh, tonight
Yeah.
won't matter."
No, that's what I'm telling you. That's what. No, get the fuck out of here. No,
Okay, well,
That was stupid.
sorry for wasting your time, people.
it's okay.
Hey Chandler,
That would be funny.
Hey, Damon.
how did that parlay work out for you? I know you're pretty
It's
excited.
looking really good. As
You're
a
pretty
matter of
excited
fact.
to share it.
I was
with
really
everybody.
good. I was kind of pissed off we didn't post it today because I've been on an ice cold streak, but I'll tell you how it's looking right now. As of 11:34, the Padres 5-0 had them. The Dodgers are up. The White Sox won. The only thing we're waiting on really is the Dodgers and Diamondbacks game. If the over hits and the Dodgers win, we're back. We're back on the season.
What's the over for the Dodgers game?
7.
Yikes! All right,
I
it could happen.
Not great.
It could happen.
I also took a parlay today that might hit. Also had the White Sox.
White
They
Sox are
barely
the hottest
squeaked
team in
by.
baseball right now. Not like
What?
they are. The White Sox are the hottest team in baseball right now. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, they were somehow minus 110 against Minnesota. I don't know.
They were number one. in the
Easiest
power
bet I've ever
rankings.
made.
They won by 20 runs
against-
today.
Against J.A. Happ.
Exactly.
I bet against J.A. Happ anyway, just because I hate that motherfucker. But like, Boom.
Can we? Speaking of J Happ, we were looking at him today, and we've mentioned this before about other players. J Happ was one of those players that the beard policy helped out in a big way. He looked like shit today.
He looks terrible.
He does not do a beard well.
He looks exactly like what he is. He's a washed up piece of shit that couldn't make it in New York, and now he's elsewhere, just kind of aging and dying off. It's like an old dog that ran away from home, and that's him.
You always compare to dogs. I thought he was going to say the exact same like Jay Bruce comment that he made last time.
Yeah,
that was two. Okay, so two. And I think those are both fair.
So he was an old dog who ran away and then got a gray beard. Is that what J Happ was?
I don't know, man. I'm just saying he looks like a shaggy homeless guy, and he just needs to pack it up. Like, that's the bottom line.
Almost threw a no-hitter, dude.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't give a flying fuck. He still has like a 7 ERA.
When did you throw a no-hitter or almost do one?
I don't know. We can check the fucking scorebooks from my travel ball days. Like 13, I'm pretty sure I went like 5 no-hit innings with like 17 walks.
5 no-hitter. If Bumgarner's no-hitter doesn't count through 7, your 5 doesn't count either.
Well, I didn't finish the game because I walked too many people, but you know.
Older you get, the better
you asked how close I was, and there you go.
Speaking of walks, how about that Garrett Cole guy?
Hold on. We just totally fucking cucked Murph out of his parlay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, go ahead. What was your parlay, Murph?
I had the Yankees Rangers game tonight under 8. Didn't think it was. I thought it was going to be, inverse, but under still hit. And then I got an 83% chance of winning, according to Action Network, because they track that. Good app. You should check it out.
Nicely
Colorado
done.
Avalanche versus the St. Louis Blues under 5.5. It's currently 1-0.
Is that the minor league baseball teams? Those
No, it's NHL.
Okay. That's a joke. No one cares about hockey, all right?
Well, I just wanted to hit a parlay.
Playoff hockey's here. Playoff hockey's fun.
Anyway, if you want to go track everybody's picks, especially Chandler's parlays, because those are the only ones that are actually hitting.
Like never hit. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, they have been hitting. No, they have been hitting.
I was hot.
Mine have been hitting. I'm on like a.
I'm not hitting either, but he's not.
But he's the best chance of hitting out of all of us.
I'm gonna check your action right now because I can check your action.
I'm having a good day today, actually. As a matter of fact, so you can.
I went on a let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I went on a 5-game winning streak, and then 4-game losing streak. So I got my ups and downs.
But if you guys, I just found out that you can change the units in Action Network, and let me just tell you, it has not been going well because I doubled down on the ones. Actually, the other day, I hit my first one where I did 8 units on Judge today. Get a hit. It was over 0.5 hits in his next at bat. He got it. So I was like, okay, this is easy. I'm just going to keep doing the more units, and I'm just going to go up 1 billion units. The next one I did it with Voight. I did 8 units on that. Missed that. The next one, I just kept doing more units. In the last 30 days, I'm down 17 units. I'm down 13 in the last 7 days.
Let me tell you this.
You can see the chart, too, in the last 30 days. Everything else is consistent, like, online. And then it just goes like this because I found out the units thing.
If the old greasy parlay hits today, I wipe out 9 days worth of losing.
That's the thing
big.
with parlays, dude. You can just
I had a good day on my straight picks too. I picked a couple of little underdogs. I got some prop bets rolling. I mean, you can track it all in action. It's a great app. Been using it for a long time.
If you want to follow our picks, we have too. We've been using it since college. Our friend Matt showed us it back in the day, and we were fortunate enough to partner with them. They're a great company. And if you want to follow our action, I don't know why you'd want to follow mine, but I'm 161 Luke. I routinely make bad picks. Murph, 161 Murph. Damon is 161 Damon. And Chandler is 161 Bing. Follow us if you want. If you don't, I understand. We're not good bettors. We're not professional gamblers. So,
yet.
If you do want to hear professional gamblers, at the back end of this show, we will have, actually not this week. Next week, we're going to have the Action Network guys come back on, and they're going to give us some real picks. So that should be fun. But back to the Yankees a little bit. What's the state of the union on Clint Frazier? Because I know Chandler in the group chat today
so actually
was giving up on him. So
allow me. That was actually my rounding third, is that by
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was gonna say by like mid-August, I think he's back in the minor leagues.
Oh, okay. You're out already.
No, listen to me. Hear me out. Hear me out. Right now, He is the second worst hitter in baseball, and he is the worst hitter among left fielders in the entire league. He's got I got the advanced metrics right there. Look at that. He's in the bottom 3% of the league in exit velo.
It's almost like you prepared for a podcast.
I did prepare for a podcast. I know. Look at me. Yeah, he's got the worst on the team as far as taking pitches in the zone. He's got the worst fucking on the team in swings and misses on pitches in the zone. And it doesn't look like he's improving at all. Like, when was the last time that Clint Frazier was at the plate and you felt confident in him outside a game like 4 of this season? Never.
I'm not. Again,
he's on a straight downward trend, and there's nothing stop. He's not like grasping on for momentum, anything like that. He puts up consistently poor at bats every day, and I like Clint Frazier. I don't think either this is his year or this is his team. Whatever it may be, I think his time here is coming to an end shortly.
I'm the biggest Clint Frazier supporter out there, and he's really been disappointing. And
no shit.
I'm not
Breaking news.
I'm not going to have his back for now. I'm gonna not talk about it for a while until he hopefully gets his shit
You're
together.
shunning him?
What?
You're shunning him?
I'm shunning him for
The way I did with Gary?
Yes, I'm shunning him until he hits above 230.
See, I said body weight because Gary's heavy, but
You might never see me
Clint's
again.
body weight would be like 170.
Do you realize how well he would have to get his batting average? That's 100 points to get it up to 230.
That's a long way.
It's early.
Yeah, and that's why I'm having my
Is it?
expectations.
We're
be
over
high.
a quarter way through the season.
Anyway, back to what you were saying, Chandler. I don't think he's getting sent down. I think that he would get traded before he gets sent down.
Think about it this way. If one of your trades that was in the rounding third happens, where's the room for him?
I mean,
What room? Because you're not cutting Brett Gardner.
No, he would be.
And what do
He
you-
would be the depth, I think.
Yeah, he'd be a
We're
bench
getting
bat.
a starter, and he's now the bench, the fourth guy off the bench because he's clearly not playing well. I think that's what they do. I think getting the deal would cause him to be the fourth guy off the bench. Gardner would play center field or left, depending on if we get Starling Marte or not. And then you don't have to force this guy who is clearly not doing it this year, and you don't have to send him down. I think that's ridiculous. To say
Well,
you're gonna send
okay.
him
Well,
down.
what if Hicks comes back and he turns out I see you over there, but okay. Let's say perfect world Hicks comes back and you trade for a guy because your outfield's clearly not getting it done, and now you've got Hicks, Gardner. We'll say Marte for the sake of argument. So you got Hicks, Marte, Gardner, Frazier, Judge, and then you've got the bench behind him. You're not going to hold on to him. Just like you're going to want to get him at bats, especially if he's hitting the way he is.
He will.
Like,
Judge gets off days. Judge gets DH days. Now that Stanton's,
That's not-
what's going on. Yeah, Stanton will be back. That's not part of the conversation.
you're not going to
but-
carry like 6 outfielders just because you feel bad for the guy. They clearly don't give a fuck about his feelings. They've sent him down for playing well.
Murph, what do you
I don't
got?
see them sending him down. Murph.
No, I just Chandler, I kind of agree with you a little bit, but I also agree with what you guys were saying, Rel and Damon, in that he's either going to get traded or benched before he gets sent down. But I just wanted to add one point is that the 4 of us are a little soft on Clint because we like the guy and we want him to be good. But if there was any other player that came up this year that wasn't already an established everyday player on the Yankees and they were hitting as bad as he was, we would wanted him sent down to like the Tampa Tarpons in low
Exactly.
Here's
So,
what-
yeah,
A. We
I
give him
love
some
Clint.
pretty favorable treatment.
but
I think he's better than he's hitting, obviously. But
Absolutely love Clint Frazier. I have defended him. Me and one of my boys text about the Yankees pretty much every day. He's hated him since day one. I've defended Clint Frazier day in and day out for
cheating
so
on us?
fucking long. But I mean, I'm not even cheating on him. It's true. At the end of the day,
No, cheating on
If
us.
you-
You're talking about the Yankees with other people.
oh, I know. Yeah, I know. What a terrible person I am. Even though you bring up the other guy that you talk about podcast topics with, like every other podcast, but that's neither here nor there.
You guys need a therapy session together? Jeez.
We might. Couples therapy.
We went to the Astros game without us. I'm still a little sore about that.
Either way. So I just lost my train of thought. I don't know. I'm a huge Clint supporter. I love Clint Frazier. I
there
just
it
don't
is.
know.
That's what it was.
There we go. There we go. No, I am.
Glad you
I
got
just
that one
don't.
out.
Like, at the end of the day, like if you're the worst hitter in
Imagine he
Major League
forgot that.
Baseball, if you're literally the worst hitter in Major League Baseball, eventually something has to change,
Yes, I think that Murph,
which he currently is.
Murph, going back to your point, I really do think that most Yankee fans are supporting him because we want to see him good.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what sets him apart of some random guy coming up and doing poorly. Like I think that we all have high expectations of him because he's supposed to be this 5-tool, lights out, carrying the team type player because he did do it for a period of time. You know, during the 2020 season, during the beginning of this season for 4 games, he was great. So
It was a big part of 2020.
he was a huge part. So that's what he can do, and I think all of the Yankee world knows he can do that. So he has high expectations, and that's why we're all like not giving up on him, but we're kind of like fucking get it together, man. You know,
Well, that's the thing is that
you've
he's
been
either going to
waiting-
figure it out or
like,
he's not.
He's been waiting for his entire career to get literally this opportunity. This is the one time he's had an opportunity to be an everyday starter, and
He's been fucking
he's
abysmal.
kind of been blowing it. And I know like, baseball's hard, but you kind of got to do.
Murph, great analysis, by the way. He's either going to figure it out or he's not.
Like, I
true.
mean, as simple as it
I
is,
mean-
like either he's going
And
to keep
Chandler's a
doing
huge
this,
fan,
and we
so
got to figure out what
all
we're
the
going to do with him,
in-depth analysis,
or he's
going
going to figure it out, and we'll be fine.
Well, no, it's true. Like I see what you're saying. You
Two
can't
true
just
outcomes.
keep you can't just keep pandering. Like, oh well, maybe he'll get it next time. Maybe he'll get it next time. It's either like at some point, it's either figure it out or fucking move on.
No, here's what I'll
And-
say about this: is I agree that I don't think he's looking any better. I think he looks worse by the day, offensively at least. The catch he made, we haven't even talked about that yet. Let's give him some credit for that catch. There's a lot of
catch was
them.
great.
There's a lot of them that he even mentioned it today too. Like people don't think I should dive for everything. That one he needed to dive for, and that one was beautiful. Sometimes he does just dive to dive. I feel like today there was
Like,
one that
why
he
do you
just
gotta give
let
him
down.
shit for that? He's
No,
making a good play. Like everyone,
There's plenty of other things to give him shit for currently. Offensively, that's all. I'll give him all the credit in the world for the defense, especially because of how great of a 180 he made on that. The offense, he just doesn't. He either swings the bat at nonsense or doesn't. He doesn't know when to swing, and
that's the thing.
that's a very hard thing to figure out. It's not that he's getting unlucky and hitting into double plays or whatever. He's making contact. He just doesn't. He's so mentally not knowing what to do. He just doesn't know what to swing at. When he does swing, it's so up in the zone or wherever the fuck it is. I don't know. It's a whole mental makeup thing, and I don't know that he can figure it out shortly. I think I have faith in him to figure it out because I know he's a great baseball player, and that's why we are a little bit more lenient about him. I agree, Murph. If it was another player, we would say get the fuck off this team. But
That's why I'm saying
there's a
send him
reason.
to
There's a
AAA.
reason. There's a reason.
Jay
we
Bruce
have,
was bad for 2 weeks, and we forced him into
Okay,
retirement.
that's a bad analysis. No, because we know what Clint is, and we know the hype around him, and there's a reason why we like him so much. Is because we saw good stuff, and that's an unfair a thing to say. Like if it's somebody else, send him down because he is a good player, and you give that people more of a leash when they're better players. So I'm with Damon. I'm with Damon.
You just made my
No, I'm
point.
not even
Like,
against
if he's
him. It was just an observation. Like,
Yeah.
we do give him a longer leash, partially because the Yankees gave him such a short leash.
You made my point there. Like if it's the pitch recognition and it's something he's not going to work out in a game, clearly, why would you not want to send him down in games that don't matter to get the mental part right and then come back up when you're ready and fucking lock it back in and do what you can?
He's a
It's
weird
not-
one where sending down is not gonna help his mental. That's gonna make him even worse, dude.
How? You can't get worse than already the worst.
No, like that. I'm saying the mental state. Like he still has Scranton Rail Riders in his bio on Twitter.
Exactly. Send him fucking.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe if he takes that out of his bio, he's going to hit 450 for the next month.
I
I'll
don't
DM
know.
him. I'm with to round this out. I am with Damon that I don't even think we should talk about it going forward because it's just an obvious thing. Until something changes, we address it. I think it's a borderline. I'm not gonna shun him like Damon is, but he's not Gary Sanchez level shunning for me. I am not gonna.
I'm
gonna-
only
I'm
doing,
gonna- I'm
I'm
gonna let
only
it be.
doing this because I care.
I'm gonna let it
okay?
be.
I'm
He's
only
not
doing
mad,
this
he's
because I
disappointed.
care.
Still have his back, but
I'm like a mother who's just trying to teach him a lesson, and I want you to do better. So
it's not the cold shoulder. It's
No.
just
not
Sit
mad.
in timeout
I'm
until you
disappointed.
fix your attitude.
Is speaking of disappointed, he's obviously the biggest disappointment.
100%. I mean, I
There's
haven't
not even
talked
a
more about a
close
guy
second.
in my entire life than him.
What'd you say?
I haven't talked more about a guy in my entire life than him.
I just don't believe that.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Nice, Mur. I had a quick. I've honestly, truthfully, had my finger on that button for.
I saw that. I
last
saw that
second.
coming because you looked at me. You were like,
9 out of
"What did you say?" You were like, "You wanted me to repeat
I was
it."
confirming that it was a good. So out of 10, what was that, Murph?
9 out of 10.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It wasn't the.
you
it
were on
wasn't
my
the
team
best.
too.
It wasn't the best. The execution was there, but there are better.
Yeah.
Good.
I got what you're saying.
Does what I say after count to it? Like I was too happy I cheered for it. Is that like I gotta play it cool type thing?
Well, no. Did you hear me say it under my breath as you hit it?
I was hitting the button. It's a little delayed.
Well, I said that's what she said into the mic as you hit
Okay,
it.
so if you hadn't said it, it was better.
No. It was even better because I also said it.
Oh, okay, cool. 9. I'll take the 9.
It was good.
Next player, Judge, hottest player on the fucking planet right now. And it's just funny that what I've been saying about Judge and Stanton, it's just again like not one of them can be hot with the other person is playing well. Like the other one person's playing well, oh Stanton's on the IL. Stanton's playing absolutely out of his mind. Oh, Judge is 0 for his last 17. Like it's just it happens every time and it's happening again. And it's
The universe
ridiculous.
can't handle it.
They can't handle it. It can't handle it. It's so crazy to me. Like that we signed that when we got Stanton. If I told you like that, the first thing I wanted to see was like, oh my God, Stanton and Judge back to back. We're gonna have so many back to back home runs. They're gonna be playing well together, and if they're playing well together all the time, we're gonna win multiple World Series. I was with Matt when I got the news. He's a Red Sox fan. I was like, you guys are fucked. Like we just got the guy. He just coming off a 57 home run season.
59.
59, and they're gonna kill it. And the guy next to him got 50 fucking. I think he got 50.
52.
That's what it was. And I was like, oh my God, you guys are fucked. And if you told me, it's actually like clockwork. One person's on, the other person's off. It's just every time. And it's
Dude, the over/under
Now
on
that
home
Murph's
runs.
back,
The
I
over/under
was
on
gonna say,
combined
now
home
that you're
runs.
fuck
you guys
me.
fucking suck. Like the
We're
worst
both
people on the
delayed.
planet.
The over/under
Weird.
on home runs that next year was 110.
Yeah, it's
Obviously,
outrageous.
it didn't happen, but that says about the expectations.
Either way, now that Murph's back, I can finally get some fucking love for the comparison of what we expected. You remember, you're a hockey guy. I assume you've seen the Mighty Ducks. I was assuming it was going to be the fucking like Bash Brothers from the Mighty Ducks. And
Oh
it's just
yeah,
the complete and total opposite of that.
no, yeah, absolutely.
It's the weirdest part about it is too they're having nice seasons individually also.
Right.
It's just
I know.
one person will go like they have had 2 of the hottest streaks of any player in baseball this year individually, and it's just and they've also had 2 of the coldest streaks, Stanton at the beginning of the season and Judge like 2 weeks ago, and their hot streaks rounds them out to now they're both hitting about 300 right now, and Judge is tied for the lead in home runs, 24 RBIs, and Stanton's doing just the same. It's just crazy that they're both having great seasons, and they're also just missing each other's hot streaks. But
they're also
they're literally they have an inverse relationship. It's crazy.
they're
Let me
also
ask you this.
bound to sync up though.
No,
Would
they're
you
not.
rather?
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They are though.
There's too much of a sample size.
It's gonna
Murph.
happen.
You're a
It's
sample
gonna happen.
size
There's gonna be
guy.
a 2-week stretch where they both just sync up.
And then when
and I
that
hope
happens,
it's
it'll
not
be
cold.
all worth it.
The world will explode. Either
If
way,
it's in
fun.
October,
Okay,
dude,
here you
fuck
go.
everybody else.
Fun question: would you rather have it like this, where it's super hot and then super cold for both of them, or would you rather
At the
have
same
them both
time?
play? Yeah, well, no. Or would you rather have them both play like steady, but average to slightly below average, but they're both still producing at the same time?
I mean, it depends when they're being good and when they're being
I
bad.
prefer
Yeah,
this
all
because of
season I don't
this-
care until
yeah.
October. Then they both should be hot.
No, I prefer.
If they're both
I
hot in
prefer this.
October, they might give
Thank
us
you
2
for
World
giving me
Series
a real
trophies.
answer, Luke.
I prefer this because of the narrative is funny.
It is funny. Thank you. I wanted a real answer, not a.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on like obviously in the postseason, like I want them to both be producing, but I'm just saying.
Murph's middle name is Cop Out. Like every question you ask him, he'll be like, well, it depends on when his birthday is and what time he woke up that morning and
what his astrological sign is.
What is that?
I
It's
don't
like
know.
you're a Gemini or if
You're
you're
that one.
Pisces.
My girlfriend tried to
Sagittarius.
explain it to me the other day. I didn't really get it.
It's the stars, man.
I never heard of the astrological sign. I thought that was just like your.
Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, every
No, you
Oh,
are.
all right.
when you're born determines like your like personalities and stuff.
My
It's all black magic
horoscope.
bullshit.
Horoscope.
Yeah.
I said horoscope.
Your porcelain level.
What?
What?
Sorry.
We're getting
He just,
hours into
David
this
just
episode.
thought that was
He
absolutely
thought that was
hilarious.
he thought that was an absolute banger of a joke.
No, I did not think that was funny. It was funny in my head.
I don't think anybody knows what you're talking
I
about.
don't either.
All right.
Ricky, I was high when I said that.
Now
Ooh,
exactly
Luke Voigt
how
hit a home
much
run
pot
today.
Did you
That
smoke?
was cool.
I should have put that one in right after he said that. It's just now.
Now exactly how much pot did you smoke?
Careful,
All right.
careful. Damon's hot. Mm-hmm. Is that all we wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I think we're
Luke
losing
Voigt
people.
hit a home run. That was cool.
Luke Voigt did hit a fucking bomb,
And he's back. And he looks awesome.
He does
I mean,
look good.
not amazing, but he still looks good. He's
I
hitting the
missed
ball
him.
hard.
I miss his
I
name
did
in the
too.
lineup.
He just makes me happy.
Me too.
Did you see his new celebration on first?
Yes, that's what I was hoping that would catch on as like the new thumbs down type thing, but I don't think
I
it
like
will.
it.
What was
Yeah.
that? It was like the beer shower, like Stone.
It was
Cold
the
Steve
Stone Cold
Austin?
Steve Austin
yeah.
thing.
Okay, I like that.
But
I don't think it'll
slow.
catch on,
He does it
but-
slow. He
No.
goes.
Yeah,
No,
he
it
doesn't
could
want,
be-
he doesn't want you
yeah.
to miss it.
Could be very misconstrued if you didn't know what you were looking at.
Yeah.
Damon just went like this, and that should have been the "That's what she said." But
Well, that's what
thank
she
you.
did.
And now I'm the one that did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want the button, Murph?
I mean,
I think you'd be a better gatekeeper of the buttons. I'm just not going to.
I would be. Low-key.
I press them a lot, and often it's not at good times. But I think you'd be a great gatekeeper. However, I have a blast doing it.
I
so
feel
I'm
like
not
as a
gonna do it.
rule of thumb, the person who picks what's on the button machine shouldn't get to press them because you're jumping at the bit
Too
to get
eager
your
to
sounds
press
out there. Yeah.
Well, I bought it, so fuck you guys. My ball, my rules. So, just we haven't really talked
That's
much
what
about
she
the
said.
Orioles series. No, but that's like what kids said back in the day. With you bring the football, like you make the rules. Like that's how
I know.
my neighbor said that. He was the fucking worst. I hope he's listening. He is a Yankees fan, so
I like to think he is.
hey Jake, you're the worst.
Yeah. Hey,
Dude,
fuck you,
he
Jake.
would make up his own rules. It was like we were 13 years old playing wiffle ball, and the bottom. He would be like, "Oh, the bottom of the order, the game's over if you don't get last licks if you're the home team." Like, you just make up his own shit because he would want to win, and it'd still be.
I did that one time when I was in elementary school. Whenever I turned the ball over on fourth down, I made up a rule called the forced punt. It means if you don't get it on fourth down, you get the punt.
Did you ever make up any rules, Chandler?
I'm sure I've come up with some dumb shit. I just can't think of any off the top of my head.
All right. Well,
All the guys at 161st Street, I just have two words for you. See ya.